Yeah, welcome to the platform, Rap Wars, Spoken Wars. Let the people know like who you are and where you're coming from.
Yo, everybody, thank you for tapping in. I go by the name of Loud Pack Palms. What's happening for Phoenix, Arizona? Certainly appreciate the opportunity to come on board and chop it up with y'all.
You already know. Uh, I only interview like dope artists, dope like musicians and everything. Let's get this going. All right, your name is Loud Pack Palms. Like, how did you get that a name?
Well, it's a long story. I've been playing around with music a long time. It initially started off as Napalms, but there's a rock group and there are several artists under the name Napalms. So my brother came out with a moniker of Loud Pack, Live Out Your Dream Pack, and we carry that name. It's not a unit. There is another unit under that moniker Loud Pack that I'm not associated with at all. But I'm under the moniker of Loud Pack Palms, actually until January or February of 2026, where I convert to Palms to Great. At this time, I'm still running with Loud Pack Palms in regards to most of my music being registered under that trademark name, but I'm converting into Palms to Great first quarter of 2026. So Loud Pack Palms came from the Loud Pack brand that my brother started probably about 9 or 10 years ago in New York.
Okay, and that's like a weed brand.
Yeah, it's kind of like loud because everybody was calling the weed loud, but we try to moniker it under "Live Out Your Dream" pack. So, but it's
All right.
more reputable as the weed. So like that's a loud pack. So it kind of
Yeah, that's
describes
what.
my flow and my style.
Yeah, that's what I was like assuming too. I'm like, oh shit, this guy he must be smoking a lot of weed or something. That's
Oh
what's
yeah,
up though. That's right. Okay, and so you've been doing your thing for a while now, making music and everything.
yeah, man.
That's what's up. All right, let's get into the questions though. All right. How do you describe the sound and style of your music?
I say well, my style, of course, is I would say it's a mixture of old school hip hop and current trend. Um, Direct boss tone, no choppy rap. I don't have anything against any style of rap, but to describe my own style would be set. I would say a mellow boss tone, clear storytelling delivery. I would say most of my songs, if you listen to them, you can visualize what's being said. Uh, so in a nutshell, I would say that very mellow boss tone, direct in regards to my style and approach.
All right. And what state were you born in?
I was born and raised in New York City. Born and
Okay.
raised in New York. Went to college in South Carolina, did some music there. Moved to Pennsylvania for a while, did a lot of music there, and then I moved out to Arizona. So I've been here in Arizona for about 8 years now. But born and raised in New York, so a lot of my inspiration come from '90s rap, '90s East Coast rap. Being that I was over there, Nas, Biggie, De La
AZ.
Soul, leaders of the New Crew, AZ. Correct. So uh, a lot of my inspiration came from that era and that cusp of people.
That's what's up. And being in like so many different like states, how would you say like the difference in like music is? Would you say like they're kind of familiar or like there's like a whole bunch of like differences in it?
Uh, it's surprising that throughout the states and places I've done music with, the music really isn't different. For example, when I was in South Carolina, granted I was in the South and they have their sound, but in regards to the hip hop scene, it was all hip hop. There was no South Carolina sound. Or if you go to Pennsylvania, there's no Pennsylvania sound. Compared to if you go to Texas, Texas has a sound. They have a patented sound out of Texas. But the artists and the people I dealt with in those several states, it wasn't really different, so to say. And also the mindset of just trying to be heard and trying to make it. Everyone was saying on the same page. Everybody had that same hunger. The inspiration to write and perform and get their art out. So everywhere I've gone, it's been on that kind of vibe. But in regards to sounds and styles, it's pretty much the same.
All right, I feel that. I feel that. So like pretty much everywhere you go, like everyone's on the grind with their music, the craft and all that.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
that's what's up. And did you pick up anything like and put it in your like style, like traveling a lot and all that?
I would honestly say every state I've moved to, it wasn't with the intent of making music. So, for example, when I moved to South Carolina, it was because of college. So I wasn't really pursuing music. But during one of my classes, I was in gym class, we were running track, and there was a gentleman running track, and he was just reciting rhymes. So I'm like, hey, that's you? So he brought me into writing again. So we started doing music that way. You know, when I went to Pennsylvania, when I moved to Pennsylvania, it was through work. I run into people doing music, it brings me back out. So what I would say is through each encounter and each mission, these groups of people help me sharpen my pen and keep me in the game in regards to writing and recording and wanting to perform because life happens, and I've never been in a position to dedicate 100% of everything into music. So in the course of school, in the course of raising a family and having children or what have you, there have been periods of time where I didn't do music at all, years at a time where I didn't do music. So then in the course of life and moving around and having different jobs and meeting different people, these people brought me back into the realm of music. And at this time, I've utilized all these experiences and my knowledge to really do what I'm doing now. And this is it right now. This is all these years and work that I've put in. I'm seeing the results, and I'm seeing that all the efforts are really going to come to fruition in regards to what's about to happen and what's actually happening as we speak.
Hey, now I get it though. Like sometimes like life just happens, like like even the same with the podcasting I be doing. Like I stopped for a quick like while and I did like a podcast with like some person that's now on No Jumper now. So that got me like more hyped up to even do it more. So no,
Right.
I feel you on that though. Most def. All
Shout out
right,
to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you tapping in.
yeah, most def. Shout out to the fans. All right. What does the typical like creative process involve when you're like writing songs?
Well, I don't know if it's different because I usually don't have writing sessions with people. But when I get into my mode and I want to write, I'll grab a collection of music that producers will send me a collective of beats, and I'll make a playlist, and I'll just sit and I'll just listen to the beats. And whatever catches me is when I'll just put the pen to pad. I often think of several topics. I try to think of realistic topics people could relate to, and I write. I just let the pen bleed. And if at some point I get to a writer's block, I go to the next beat. And if it catches me, I'll write something to that. So it'll be a cycle. So whereas I may find myself writing 4 to 5 songs or verses at a time. And then in regards to writing songs, my turnaround time is amazing, if I say so myself. I could write a song for you, like say, hey, here's the beat, here's the topic, let me get a song. I could write a song in a day, a good
That,
quality song in a day. Substance, hooks, punches, bars, melody, cadence. I can write you a song in a day, quality song in a day.
no, that's fire right there. So like if you're not feeling it or you get like what's it called writer's block, like you're saying, you just go into the next song and then like keep going from there.
Yeah, I keep going because I don't like to force things. So even if I find a beat and I get 20 bars written and then I'm jammed. After a certain point, I listen to the beat maybe 3, 4 more times. If I can't find a sensible, reasonable, quality bar, I'm not gonna force it. That's bad. That's bad work. So I'll go to another beat, see how that catches me or what have you. Um, And if that next beat doesn't catch me, it might be another beat, which takes me away from storytelling to an emotional story or something in regards to speaking about a female or a relationship. Oh, that doesn't work out. I'll play another beat. Oh, that's hard. That's a trap beat. All right, let me talk about the streets. Let me talk about the struggle. So each beat of each song is an element and topic to work with.
Most def. I hear that. And who do you like work with? Like beat makers do you work with? Do you work with like a specific one or do you have like a variety of beat makers?
Right now, I want to give a big shout out to my man Smoke Dot. Smoke Dot out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Look him up. He got some good credits. Quite a few good artists on his catalog. Uh, Out of my 11 songs that are currently on Spotify, I would say about 8 to 9 of them were produced by Smoke Dot. His catalog is colorful in regards to going from dark and grim to happy and jerry. You can, if you're an artist that writes about gunplay and trapping, you could go from that style to you know change your life song in regards to the style of his music. He has a great variety of music, and for me to have the ability to have nine separate songs, nine separate topics, all produced by one producer, I got to give him his props. So I got to shout out my man Smoke Dot. I got my man Nate Williams also. Nate Williams out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Please look these guys up. If you're friends of mine on Facebook, follow me, follow these guys. They are open arm in regards to production. Shout out to my man D Brown, who I just got linked up with. And these are producers that have created folders on their Gmail, and I have access to listen to beats, sample beats out, purchase beats directly from these producers. And we do fair business. They get their credits through my BMI. Uh, if it's money involved, they get their coin. It's good business, always solid business. I haven't had any bad encounters in regards to any producers or any of the music that I've used or purchased.
Hey, that's right. That's right. Okay. What like genre would you put yourself in?
Hip hop, hip hop rap. No trap really. I don't. I've elevated. I'm an older artist, I would say. Um, I story tell. I like to have fun in regards to some of my music. Please check out some of my one of my songs called Social Networks. It's talking about how I met a girl on Facebook with 30 mutuals. Then she hit me on the Instagram. That's the usual. A couple DMs. Now I'm thinking shorty cool. She asked me for my number, so I'm guessing that she comfortable. We doing dinner dates. I had a lunch or two. She liked Chipotle, Red Lobster, the BBQs. So I mean, is storytelling. It's things that I may not have gone through personally, but goes on every day, you know. So Stack of Starve, that's talking about life, being down and out and trying to find a way out, whether it's out the hood or out the specific situation. I would say it's relatable music, really relatable music. You won't hear me talking about things that I don't have. You may hear me talking about things that I wish to attain. Um, and anything glorious or things of that nature in the substance of the song is talking about how I plan to get it. Not that I'm driving a Bentley and I'm flying in private jets. That's fabricated. I want you to be able to see me in a supermarket shopping with my kids and be like, "Hey, what's up, Palms?"
Yeah,
I'm
like
regular. I'm regular.
real and everything. Yeah, most def. Do you feel like a lot of artists be like faking it? Like what I mean by that is like they be saying they be driving these nice ass cars, be like spending a lot of money and they're not really doing it. Like how do you feel
I
about that?
I mean, I believe it and I don't knock it because honestly, the music game has changed from just being great at being a musician. It's really about image, what it looks like. What do you look like? You know what I mean? Um, so people are put on that facade because that gains attention, whether it's jewelry, whether it's rented cars, whether it's fake money, it attracts attention. And that takes away from having to have talent. If you look like you're a rapper and if it looks like what you're saying is true, people will back it, unfortunately, rather than your music being genuine in art. You know, Now you have to run around practicing the script because you're being someone who you're not. So I don't knock it because I understand it, but that's not a route that I've ever planned to go because that's not genuine. Again, if you see me in Walmart shopping, I don't think I'm the same guy that's flying a Learjet. If that's the case, someone's shopping for me. When you get to a certain status, you don't run into these people that are flying Lear jets or driving Lamborghinis. You don't run into these celebrities out in the street or at your library or at your bank or at your local bodegas. Those guys get that stuff sent to them. So why would I portray that image when at any time you could catch me anywhere? That's a lie. So that's just not the image that I plan to portray at all. I like to be genuine, relatable. I want you to ever see
Inspired.
that. I could relate to that. I know that. I know exactly how you feel. I know what he's talking about.
Most def. Yeah, gotta keep it 100. All right. You performed at No Main Vocals. How did you get tapped in with the venue?
Oh man, I just at this time I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been providing me opportunities to be involved in these events. I just tapped into No Vocals through a homie by the name of Santi. Check him out. He's a great battle rapper and artist as well. He has a battle competition coming up. Well, might as well say it's a showcase, but October 10th, if you're in Phoenix, it's going to be at Tap That Downtown. I actually will be battle rapping for the first time in 25 years. But
Hey,
Santi, yeah, he's been out here in Phoenix. He's born and raised out here in Phoenix, or what have you, for the most part. But he's been in the hip hop scene for a while, so he's really been plugging me in with quite a few people. So shout out to Rotation TV, Phoenix Era, Taste of Phoenix. Shout out to DJ Pest, Monster Beast, Icon Radio, Respect the Underground. Everybody that's been given an opportunity, giving me an opportunity to come and display my talents. Because again, in the nature of moving around, I'm moving to places where I don't know anybody. So to be able to get a camera performance or even an interview, I like to thank you once again. This is my first live interview, so if there's anything you would like to ask, you could get the first scoop of it.
you
But
already know.
yeah, shout out to everybody out here. There is a movement in Arizona, but it's lacking unity. There's no togetherness. It's dog eat dog. Um, but there's so much talent here, and it's surprising because it's Arizona, and Arizona's not spoken of at all in a sense when it comes to rap. But there's a lot of great musicians out here in Arizona. And again, follow me, continue to follow me. You continue to see footage of these events that are coming up that I'm involved in. And these are all platforms designed to help artists get some limelight and get some notoriety and try to take it to the next level out here. Because again, there's a market out here. There's definitely a market out here.
Yep, it's growing for sure. You guys are getting like more light, shined on
Yeah.
you guys for sure. You're out in Arizona right now, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, and are you familiar with the Cactus Boys out there? I heard like they're kind of like big out there.
Well, I honestly I just recently heard of them, and I just recently saw some of the interview that they had. I don't know much about them at all. I've been active doing shows in Phoenix, Glendale, Tucson. Shout out to Hana Anthem Nation on the Res. I do shows on the Res. I've been doing shows around. I haven't encountered them at any shows. I haven't seen them at any shows. But I know that they've put a stamp in Arizona at some point in time. Right now, though, I don't hear of any buzz. I know that there are a lot of up and coming artists that are buzzing and that are repping Arizona hard. Again, nothing against the Cactus Boys because the same way I don't know them, they don't know me. But being that it's the topic of discussion, I only know of them through hearsay and through the interview that they just conducted. But shout them out because again, they had to do something to put a stamp on Arizona to be represented in such a fashion. And they're not many groups. I think they're a 3-man group. They're not many rap groups, you know what I mean, that are prevalent at this time. So if they put their name out and put a stamp and they're getting these interviews, they're doing something right. Or shout out to their marketing and their manager. Because again, it's ways to play the game. So I shout them out.
Yeah, most that. And I know that there's like a big like podcast out there called a Bootleg Kev. You heard of him?
I've heard of Bootleg Kev. I haven't encountered him yet, but again, I'm hearing these are some of the people that are in the conversations in regards to who I need to rub elbows with and who I need to meet. And as mentioned, as we speak, I'm getting invites and invitations, and I'm looking forward to the opportunities to meeting these guys and potentially being in those same conversations and those same interviews uh, sooner than later.
Would you say there was more like opportunities like with music in New York, or like do you feel like you're getting more opportunities here in Arizona?
I'll be honest. I would say I've received more opportunity everywhere but New York. And I would say reason being timing. In regards to the timing, I was in New York. The music game was different. And also in regards to the nature of how you can get your music out. I think it's easier to get your music out and recognized outside of bigger cities because there's not much to do in smaller cities. So when you do a show in Littleville, Pennsylvania, where the population is 900 and they only go to one bar, you get seen, you get heard, compared to when you're in a city of five boroughs, a couple million people, all on the same grind, and everything costs to do. You got to have about $5,000 to get this venue. You're going to pay about XYZ to get the promotion and pray that everybody knows who you are and where to go in the city to support you. I think it's easier outside. I think there are more
Okay.
opportunities now, in regards to doing shows in the city, but I think in regards to really doing your own shows and getting a fan base from the ground, I think it's easier outside.
So that most stuff. Okay, and you said that you're gonna battle rap at a venue soon. All right, and is this gonna be like a 8 Mile type like battle, or is it gonna be like what is it called? Verse for verse, like song for song, or is it gonna be an actual battle?
There are going to be a number of battles that night. It's the third series of the Disrespect Showcase, where it's honestly there's no prize. It's not for money. It's actually for props and respect. But it's all in good nature. My battle is a one verse battle against Professor Magic. Shout out Professor Magic. Uh, but there are a number of people on the card. The Disrespect Showcase is kind of based around battle rap, and once again, it's founded by Rotation TV, and my man Santi that I mentioned earlier. That's kind of his baby. That's what he's formed from the ground up. He's been inspired from battle rap from the East Coast. Shout out to Rum Nitty, who's representing Arizona as well. But he's really trying to make an impact in regards to the battle rap scene here in Arizona. So that's just gonna be a one rounder. But there are other battle raps on the card that are 2 or 3 rounds, and it's for blood, like it's for respect. Because again, the hip hop scene out here is awesome. There's a lot of talent and is recognized, but everybody wants to be recognized as the best or recognized on a list. So it is going to be a friendly battle, but people are not coming to play. It will be aired. There will be footage, and I encourage everybody that's involved, don't come to play. Come to make your name. Come to make your name and make an impact because it's going to be spoken about. It's going to be
All right,
spoken about.
I'm already knowing. And have you done any like battle raps like in the past, like battles or any of that?
25 years ago in college, that was the last time I battle rapped. So that's
Oh,
kind of showing you my age. That's kind of showing you a little bit of experience. But it's definitely a different realm from writing songs that you put out for
most
people
stuff.
to hear and download. So I'm excited to show people this different side of me. It's a different element I haven't tapped into in a very long time, but I look forward to it. I'm ready for it. Uh and I'm going against a good opponent. He's a great artist. He's known for not particularly battle rapping, but just for his lyricism and traveling and being involved in festivals and big shows with big names and things of that nature in California and such. So I'm excited to see what he brings, and I already got what I got, so I'm ready.
That's what's up. And how do you feel like about like artists taking it like too personal, or even like not even pretty much battling? Like you know how battling like you be like dissing or making fun of them. Some of them just be like, "Oh, I'll shoot you," or "I'm gonna beat you up," or some shit. How do you feel about that like type of battle?
I mean, the when it if it's the style of battle rap that's being performed, it should be understood that that's just the style of it. I don't think anything should become personal. People know that battle rap is everything goes. We've I'm pretty sure we've both heard battle raps where people have spoken of the dead and spoken of people's children's. Now, morally and respectfully, certain things shouldn't be brought up, right? But in the name of battle rap, and when it's on that plateau, when it is money on the line or $50,000 or whatever the case may be, you got to go back to the drawing board and say, you know what, it's anything goes. I got to say what I got to say to win. You know,
Yeah,
but again, as an artist, if you can't take that heat, don't go in that kitchen. If you can't take being spoken down on, if you can't take being spoken out of your name or called certain things or what have you, and your emotions are going to be involved, then you shouldn't be in battle rap because that's when it goes from fun and games to personal. It should never be personal. It should never be personal. Like honestly, I think nowadays because we've seen so much. criminal activity in the past in regards to beef. When we all trying to make money and be heard, all right, you got 10,000, you get to fight for money, fight for record sales. Fight for, all right, if I beat you, you can't put no music out for a year. How about that? Do something. But in regards to killing somebody because they said something on a song or said something in a battle rap or embarrassed you in a game you wanted to play, but if you embarrass that person, it's okay. If your
Yeah,
feelings are gonna get involved, you shouldn't get in the game. That's how I see it.
yeah, it has a lot to do like with ego too. A lot of rappers
Yeah.
have like too much ego and shit.
Big time. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know your history and you've seen battle raps where people have got punched or smacked or pushed or almost came to the point of fight, and you're like, damn, he just said a bar. If you're gonna get mad, don't rap. You know what I mean? Because if you're gonna dish it, the next round you're gonna dish the same shit talking that you just received, and you don't want that person to get how you gonna, you know what I mean? How you gonna get mad? Don't get in that round. Stay on the sideline. Be a cheerleader or both right. If you can't take that kind of pain, go right for a battle rapper. Let them rap that shit.
100. Yeah, most definitely. Okay, and when you performed at a no main vocals, was there a big crowd when you went to like perform your song?
Well, the no main vocals that was held at Really Trilly. Shout out to Really Trilly. Shout out to brother Maz. And that was actually at the Trill Shop. There's a store in Phoenix called the Trill Shop. It's a record store. There's not a lot of record stores that remain, but it's a record store. They got old New York City subway maps, albums, memorabilia, all sorts of stuff. So the vibe was there. It wasn't a jam-packed event because it wasn't based for that. But it was around 20 to 30 people in there. Half of them were artists. Some just came to support. There were shoppers coming in and out that came and listened in. It was definitely a different environment than what I'm accustomed to, but it was great. It was definitely an experience, and that led to the Phoenix era, which is the video that took place outdoors with the headset on and the mic. So everything is like chain reaction. You know, an event and a promoter, good event. They'll link you up with somebody else and they'll link you up. It's all love. There are some gatekeepers out here. I ain't gonna hold you. There are some gatekeepers, but for the most part, the people that I've been involved with, it's all for love. You know, they ask, "Hey, are you in the next show? Oh, you here? You in the next one next week or next month?" So it's really love for the most part. You know, and those that are causing ruckus and putting top 75 lists together to separate people, that's the opposite direction of what we're trying to do. Like we're supposed to be bringing people together to move as a unit. Where you trying to, well, I'm the best. Well, I'm the well. Now you going at each other, and no one looks at it.
Yeah, so that whole like networking that you do, like it comes through for you and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And
That's
that's
what's
the
up.
way, because you can't do anything alone. You can't. Like even as a podcaster, I'm pretty sure something or someone inspired you to take a chance at it, and then you found your knack at it. You see other people doing it, you're like, all right, well, I do it this way, but I see it that way. All right, I take a little bit of this, and they took a little bit of my style, and you grow and elevate and evolve. And that's what we do in regards to music. That's how it should be done.
Hey, yeah, most that's true right there. You released a song called Stacker Star. What made you want to release that track?
Stack of Starve is actually one of my favorite songs. It's actually for the most part a true story. Nothing incriminating myself, but it really tells a story in regards to me being in a situation and having to do some things that I really didn't want to do, compared to the things that I do want to do, and the outcome of it at the end of it, and the model and the title says it all, stack or starve. Like you're gonna do what you gotta do to get out the rut and stay up top, or you're gonna sit around and do nothing and deal with what you're dealing with no time frame of when you're getting out of it. So I was really eager to drop that because it is a song with no hook, pretty much. It's kind of like a pre-hook in it, but no real hook. And I actually put visuals to it as well. There's a video out for Stack of Starve as well. But yeah, I had to put Stack of Starve out to show like a real personal storytelling side of me, compared to one of my singles called Consequences or BBWs or Face Down, which are all again topic by topic songs. So Stack of Stars is kind of like my staple of this is who I am. This is what I'm doing.
All right. And at what point of your life, or what do I mean is like, when were you going through all this? Like when you wrote that song, was it like a few years back or
And
recently?
now you got me telling the truth. Stack of Starve is honestly about 10 years old. It's about
Okay.
10 years old.
And you,
Stack of Starve was actually written when I first got to Pennsylvania because it's the story of me leaving New York to either, move to South Carolina or out of the state or stay in New York City in the situation that I was in. So that was before I moved to Pennsylvania.
and then you were in New York at this time. How old were you
Oh man,
when you
now
were
you got
going
me
through all
showing
that?
my age. Sheesh. Ooh. So I moved to Pennsylvania in 2000 and 2011,
All right.
which
And
would
then,
make me I'm old. That's what. Man, I was 31.
all right.
I was
Okay.
31.
And like, what kind of like hardships or like situations were you going through? Like, if you could elaborate more. I know you said it in your
Yeah,
song,
yeah.
but
That's what I want. I want these people to get to understand my story. So I was working at a college in regards to education. And during the summer, school is out, so I didn't have a job. So I was actually in the midst of a failing relationship. So I had no money, and then I ended up being pretty much homeless. I had no place to live. Uh, I asked my friend to give me some money to get me a bus ticket to leave town, and he chose not to give me money. He gave me something to make money with. Uh, I asked family members if I could stay with them or what have you. Situations didn't work out. I ended up staying with a family friend. God bless his soul. He let me in and had a room where I could rent out. So I was
that's good.
uh, conducting certain activities that I shouldn't have been doing, and I knew that wasn't what I was about or based on, and I had to find a way to stop doing that and to get out of a situation. Uh, so pretty much the feeling of being alone, the feeling of not having support, the feeling of running out of options and putting yourself in a position that you really don't want to be in and seeing how uncomfortable it is and taking risks that you really don't want to take. So I made a transition and I made my way out and made my way to Pennsylvania and ran into another good gentleman. God bless his soul, Joe Grizzy. I have a lot of songs with him. I actually have a song September 6th coming out. Uh, Look, a year and change after his death, dropping a single with Joe Grizzy. And he
Right.
inspired me to get back to doing music. You know what I mean? That's one of the transitions. I moved to Pennsylvania in an attempt to get out of the city, wasn't thinking about music, ran into someone doing music, and we started doing shows and making music together and started getting paid off our music. Fortunately, I have footage and I have some of the posters up. We actually got to open up for Rick Ross, the baby, little baby, out at
All right.
Mohegan Sun in Pennsylvania. So please, if anyone follows me, all this is documented, and I got the receipts. I was actually it was right after I moved to Arizona where he called me telling me I was booked to fly to Pennsylvania to do that show in regards to Rick Ross and them. But unfortunately he
That's dope.
passed away almost 2 years ago, and I'm out here in Arizona. I replanted my feet here.
Okay, so you would say that like being in New York, it was like a struggle for you, and then like moving to another state, like um, that you came up from there and you started like grinding more.
Yes, definitely. I would say one thing, about I know there's an image in New York, fast paced, money, 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 or what have you. But for those that have never been and really don't know, if you're in a position, if you find yourself in a position where you can't survive in New York, you got to get out of New York. It could be bad. It could be really bad, you know what I mean, in regards to surviving. To whereas in other towns, and this is no matter where you at, but it got to be a town. It can't be New York. It can't be the city. You could go to another town and find a way and make a way. You could find a trade or a skill and make a way. You could work. You could bale hay on a farm. You could bag pecans off. You know what I mean? Things of that nature just to make ends meet. But in regards to being down and out in New York, there's really, if you can't find a way to make it, you are not going to survive, and it's not a comfortable place to be. So you just,
Right.
I would, a lot of people will tell you, most people that grow up in the city, they try to get out because it's great, but you can live better elsewhere. You know what I mean? You can take the same money that you're using to live in New York and live comfortably elsewhere, whether it's New Jersey, whether it's Connecticut, Maine, if you choose to stay on the East Coast, or even if you decide to take that money and move out west. You can live a better life elsewhere, you know, compared to the hustle and bustle and fast pace in New York. Some people make it. They do. They find their way, they make it.
It's just
But
hard.
yeah, it's rough, and you could definitely make it elsewhere. There's several other opportunities that are attainable elsewhere outside of big cities.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. It is a blessing though to grow up in a big city because you get that fast pace, that know-how, that experience. And then when you go to other places that are a little slower, you're kind of ahead in a bit, ahead in a way in regards to how you move, your way of thinking, how you deal with people, large crowds, because you're accustomed to it, you know. But
Most
besides that,
definitely.
you can definitely learn outside of the city. Definitely.
Okay. And then you said while being in New York, you went to school and then you didn't finish or something, or you
Oh,
ended up finishing.
I left. I went to college in South Carolina. Did a couple years of South Carolina. I didn't do
This
four
was
years, but
when you moved from New York to South Carolina, right?
yeah, when I moved from New York to South Carolina, that was just based off college. That's when I left New York.
Oh,
So I went to South Carolina. I was in South Carolina for quite a few years. When I left South Carolina, I moved back to New York for a small period. Couldn't make it work out. That's when I moved to Pennsylvania. From Pennsylvania, I was working with a company. Y'all should be familiar with Chewy, the pet company, pet
oh yeah.
supplies, dog food,
Yeah.
cat food. I was working with them for a while, and they provided me an opportunity to come out here to Arizona to train up a new warehouse that was opening up. So I looked at it as a way out. They would need management. They would need, people in higher positions. So
Yeah.
I figured I wasn't gonna get the promotion in Pennsylvania. So I put in a transfer and they moved me to Arizona. So I opened
Get
up a
that
warehouse
bag.
out here. Get that bag. Exactly. That's the moral of the story. So I came out here and started making the bag with Chewy. And again, ran into some people doing music and they got me right back into music. But I'm no
Yeah.
longer at Chewy.
Okay. So you stopped school because you had like a big opportunity for you, like to make
No.
money.
So in regards to why I started my family while I was in college. I
All
started my
right.
family.
You
Started
had
my
like
family.
your first kid during that time.
Had my first two children, and didn't pursue finishing up college. I don't knock it at all. I've got a great experience. Still able to utilize that education in regards to certain work fields. So it wasn't a bad experience. I take nothing from it, no regrets. But I started. That's when life started lifing. When I initially left New York to go to college, that was my first time away from New York, to be honest. I never really left the city all my life, all the way up until I graduated high school. So by going to South Carolina, that's when I was like, all right, I'm out on my own. It's time to grow up. And then within my second year of college, I'm already starting a family. So I'm like, oh yeah, life is life. So any fun and games or things of that nature kind of slowed down, and that's when I was like, oh no, life is life, and I gotta figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it. And started mixing and mingling with people. I did a few shows in South Carolina, not as many. Shout out to Slumped Over Entertainment. I ran into a few dudes out there. I wish I could find all this music, man. There have been so many uh mixtapes and CDs and collaborations I've done that are history. Like I know somebody somewhere has it, but again, nothing big, nothing major popped off in South Carolina. Again, life lifed. I ended up moving back. to New York momentarily for a few years, and that's when I moved to Pennsylvania. And from Pennsylvania out here to Arizona.
All right. And you said that you went homeless. Was this because you had like problems like with your family and shit, or your family was going through some things, or
Yeah, again, at that time, I was younger, and I was in the cusp of a failing relationship where me and the person was living together. So when we broke up, I was kind of just, I was done. I was finished. It was just at the perfect wrong time. Job just fell through. Didn't have a job. Now, no roof over the head. Things didn't work out to as I could stay with family at the time. It it was bad. And it's crazy because I was only waiting for my unemployment to kick in so I can have some money to, get a spot and all
yeah,
that.
that shit
Oh, yeah.
takes a while, huh?
Yeah, it takes a while. It took a while at the time, and then I already had it in my head. I was like, "Yo, I can't stay here in the city. I'll go back to South Carolina. I'll go wherever I gotta go to get out of here." And I got it was actually a Facebook message from an old friend, and it's like, "You moving? Just come out to Pennsylvania. I'm out here, Pennsylvania. You could do some things out here." And I took their advice, and I ended up again. I asked my homie for some money for a bus ticket to get out of town, and rather than that, he gave me something else. So I ended up staying in the city doing some things I didn't want to do. But then when I had enough money to do what I had to do, I did what I had to do, and I got up out of there, and I moved to Pennsylvania.
And you said by him like giving you something, was this like referring to like drugs or some shit that he gave you to
Yeah.
like sell?
Yeah,
All right.
man. I know it's not incriminating now. It's all in the past. But I mean, let's. I'm gonna keep it real at this point because I like the way this interview is going, and it's a life lesson. Yeah, real close friend of mine, and it ended up being rather than giving me a couple dollars to just get on the bus and go, he gave me some drugs to sell. You know what I mean? And it really showed me the definition of a true friend, and I don't spite him. I don't hate him to this day. That's my homie, but it shows you that there's levels to friendship, and it shows the differences in between people because me as who I am, if I have a friend that's in need, I'm gonna give them what they need. I'm not gonna put them in a position to potentially be stuck or worse.
Or go to jail or something.
Right, go to jail, lose my freedom, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? There's no telling what can happen in that game that we're playing, So rather than just giving me some money to get on a bus, a one-way ticket, it ended up being about a 6 to 7 month ordeal in a situation that I never intended to be in. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
was a learning lesson. It was a life lesson.
Would you say that you were good at selling drugs or
I would say that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't. I usually don't glorify it. I don't glorify it, but I did good because I did what I had to do. I didn't get caught, and it was with a goal and a purpose. It wasn't to look good. It wasn't to have money to smoke whenever I wanted to smoke. It wasn't to go get bottles of liquor and hang out with the homies. It was to do what I needed to do and make sure I had enough to get out of there. And that's what I'm saying. I don't knock anybody for any hustle or any grind as long as they have a proper intent behind it. I don't have any intent on killing or hurting anybody. I didn't have any intent to serving poison in my community at all. But that's what I had to do, and I asked God for that forgiveness, and I've never had to do such again since then. And for those that don't even know what was going on, they know what was going on. But again, it wasn't in the nature of looking good and getting fly. A lot of people I know were in that game to do such. They wasn't doing it to survive. I know a lot of hustlers that had both parents in their household that was working and they was in the streets, selling drugs just to look good and hang out with the rest of the crew. And look, I was the one that was hanging out with the crew, never involved. And then at the end of the day, in my later years, ended up having to get involved what they was doing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it wasn't y'all. I just finished my pack. Let's go get high. Nah, I did what I had to do. I'm out of here.
yeah, you had like somewhere to go. Shit. That's
Right. I
definitely
had
a
a
goal.
mission. I had a plan. You know what I mean? It wasn't no, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my days or I'm gonna do this for years. Like I got friends and not to incriminate them, they all done with this shit. And I commend them for getting out the game when they got out. But I had friends for years from 13, 14 years old in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Doing what they was doing. So for me to end up in a situation at 30, you 30, 31, getting in the game, playing around. That's a bad situation. You know what I mean? You can't say I'm gonna get in the game now and sell drugs till I'm 50, 60 years old. Get your priorities aligned. You know what I mean? Get your life back on track. You know what I mean? And yeah, I didn't grow up in a double parent household. God bless my mom's. It'll be a year she passed away coming up next week, but she didn't raise me to have to go out there and have to do nothing like that. You know, we did what we had to do, how we had to do it. If I gotta take the VCR to the pawn shop for $60 and then go buy it back a week later when the check comes in, that's what we did. It was never to a point where I had to go out there and sell drugs to keep the lights on. You know what I'm saying? My mom's never had to go out there and solicit her body to do anything like that. So for me to be in a situation at 30 years old where I felt as if I didn't have a support system and that was the end result that I had to, you know what I'm saying, sell some drugs to get out of there. I had to sell some drugs to get up out of there.
Yeah, what you're saying is like you had to at that point. Like,
Yeah, at that point, I didn't have no options. You know what I'm saying? And as a man and as a person, like you're not gonna wake up every day with nothing in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? To get something to eat, or you ain't even got nowhere to go. Period. You getting up, you ain't got no job to go to. It ain't like you going to your friend's house. They making sure you good. You just broke, bro. You just waking up broke, sitting around or standing around your homies that's getting money all day, and they not giving you no money because they risking their life for the money they making. So you just there. Well, how the hell I'm gonna
right.
get out of here? I can't get no job. I ain't got no residence. I got to get some money and get out of here. And I thought it would have been as simple as here goes this money for this bus ticket. Hit me when you get there. And it wasn't that.
Definitely got to do what you got to do. Do you feel like
So,
if you kept like selling drugs, you would have got caught at one point?
yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was gonna stop regardless, but there was one encounter that showed me that if I kept playing that game, I was gonna go to jail. I almost got caught with something on me one time. And there were a few close encounters where the undercover cops might jump out. Fortunately, I ain't had nothing on me, but there's never been a time where I had to run. You know what I'm saying, from the police. That's just how I moved. But there was one encounter where I was trapped in a situation, and if they would have found what they had to find, I'd be out by now. You know what I'm saying? It was a long time ago, but I would have did some time, bro. I got caught up with the customer and the product and the money, but they never found the product.
Got lucky,
And
huh?
that right there was the sign, like, nah, mm-mm, I ain't risking this. I ain't risking my life. I don't take direction too well. I don't like being yelled at. You're not gonna tell me when to go to sleep, when to wake up, when to wash my ass, how fast to eat, and it ain't no girls. I'm not with it.
Yeah, nice.
I'm not with it. I did a week on Rikers Island for some other shit, but I
Got
ain't
to
do no
stay
time for
free.
no. Yeah, I ain't doing no time for no drugs. I did a week on the island for assault. There was a fight that occurred, but not no drugs.
Was this
You know what I'm
at the
saying?
point? Was this during the point you were dealing, or was it like a whole different like situation?
Nah, this was before. This was way before. This was way before. This was like high school time. Uh, it's a lot of high schools in New York, and I went to three high schools. I went to three high schools, but a friend of mine had an encounter at his high school. They tried to rob him. Me and my homies went down to his school the following Monday to press the people who tried to rob him, and it was an all out fight. This all out fight. You know what I mean? Like group against group. It wasn't no gang at all. I've never been in a gang or none of that. We was a crew though. You know what I mean? So it was a
Tagging crew?
all out. Huh?
Was it like some sort of like tagging crew you were in?
Yeah, it was a crew we represent. We called ourselves Two Live. But we wasn't. It wasn't no gangs. It wasn't no initiations. We wasn't shooting nobody. We never carried no guns. We wasn't cutting nobody. It was just a group of friends that we grew up on the same block. That's all it was. So that's how we rep. But in regards to protecting our homie, we went down to his high school. We saw the dudes that was trying to rob him. We all got on a train, which is crazy, like on a subway train. The doors closed, got to swinging. Unfortunately, you know, things happened. Ain't nobody died nothing like that, but somebody was injured. We was on our way home from the train station. The cops pulled up on us, and there was a witness in the back that pointed me out, identified me, or what have you. So it was all right because I beat it. You know what I'm saying? I was going back and forth to court for years, but in regards to, you know what I'm saying, like doing time. I was only on there for a week till I got bailed out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
you and again in my music, you never hear no crazy gangster shit that I ain't lived. You gonna hear like I'm not going to jail. I don't believe in going to jail unless you touch my kids or my family. Like
like
ain't no memory card in this game of life. You can't start over. Like it's a lot of people out here playing games like they could get shot in the head and come back for revenge or come back and try it over. Like nah, bro. Like life's too short for that.
yeah, like you only got one life. What's that? So if someone like comes at you like with some personal shit, that's when you like start like getting heated and everything.
Yeah, honestly, and that's rare because the way I carry myself, I don't carry myself in a way where someone will want, you know what I mean, any issues or problems with me. You know what I mean? And if it is some hater shit, I'm gonna try to understand why. Like, champ, you don't even know me. You hating for what? Like, but as stated, if you do something to my kids or you do something to my family, you asking just like anybody else, you asking for a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go around looking for issues. I don't look around causing no drama, nothing like that. I'm usually the one trying to mediate. Like, nah, champ, just go home. You ain't in the right state of mind. You go this way or what have you. But yeah, I'm never the one hyping up the ruckus in the crowd because I know how it is nowadays. I haven't seen a fair fight in years. All I hear
Yeah.
about is people getting shot because they didn't want to fight or they couldn't fight. Like that's crazy, bro.
Or jumped or something like that. Yeah.
Say again.
Or getting jumped or any of that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like never a good sign.
I haven't even heard of people getting jumped in so long because everybody's so quick to shoot somebody. I'd rather hear about somebody getting jumped at the club rather than hearing that the club got shot up. To be honest, I'd rather hear about a fight breaking out at the club than hearing that, oh yeah, it was an argument and then somebody just started shooting. Everybody got somebody to go home to, man. I'd
Yeah,
rather go home with a black eye
for
than in a
real.
black bag.
And would you say it's like more dangerous like where you're at now, or is it like more calm, like in Phoenix or Arizona?
Well, for my it pops off out here. I haven't been in the midst of, like I said, I stay out the way. But I'm aware of the history of where I'm at. I'm aware that it is still the Wild West. Arizona's an open carry state, so everybody got one. But with that being said, it's respectful because back in New York, where it's illegal to have a gun, you have a better chance of running up on somebody with it, robbing them, sticking them up, or doing whatever you do. Out here in Arizona, that's not going to happen because shit, 5 out of 8 people got the gun on them. So you're not running up on somebody just acting stupid. So it's not as crazy as it is in the cities because everybody out here got one. But there are still some people that they shoot and but I wouldn't say it's every day like I expected. Like once I moved out here, this yeah, when I first moved out here and heard it was open carry, I had an expectation of hearing gunfire all the time. I'm like, everybody got a gun and it's legal? Damn, it must be a war zone out here. But it's not. There are certain areas that, they still claim they turf or what have you. There's still heavy gang activity out here, which I'm surprised with as well. Heavy gang activity. So there are people getting shot up out here and all that. But I wouldn't say it's as crazy as it is in the cities, where everybody trying to make a name.
Yeah, that's kind of like crazy how like there's less restrictions on guns in your area, but there's still like, well, I mean, like in New York, there's like more restrictions, right? But there's still like a lot of violence compared to
Right.
Arizona, where there's like less restrictions and that's just like more calm. It's like
Right.
kind of like reversed and everything.
Yeah, it's the
Agree.
total opposite. It's the total opposite. It's the same, like even say for example, I think it's easier to visualize if I say like if you got a knife, right? If you got a knife in New York, you could rob 20 people because ain't nobody carrying knives, right? But out here in Arizona, everybody got a knife. So you're not gonna rob nobody.
You got to
So
think
I think
twice
that
before you do it.
exactly. And that's why I think it's not as much and not as crazy out here because you're not just gonna run up on somebody. They could get you first compared to New York, where not a lot of people have guns. So you're gonna hear about, oh, they were shooting out and so got hit. You're not gonna hear about a full out war like in Chicago where everybody got guns and they don't care. They shooting all the time.
Yeah,
Arizona,
Chicago's like
it's
a whole nother like
it's
different
a whole
environment.
nother, it's like a whole nother world, and it's crazy.
Have you been out there?
Chicago, not. I ain't got no reason to go out there yet. I haven't been. I know a lot of people from Chicago that have moved out of Chicago. You see what I'm saying? Is
Yeah,
I know moved. Being in Arizona, I would like to say Arizona's turning into a melting pot. I've met people from everywhere out here in Arizona. Detroit is heavy out here. Cali is heavy out here. Um, Ohio, they got people from Ohio out here, Chicago out here, Washington State. Like, I'm like, what are you doing here? And they look at me and be like, you from New York? What are you doing here? I'm like, yeah, you're right.
um,
But it's
I
beautiful. It's
really.
a good place.
Oh shit, not bad, not bad. I should just fell. Okay, yeah, nah, I feel that most deaf. And right now, like, so you feel like you could pay more attention to like music instead of like the streets and everything, like being out in
Yo,
Arizona.
I'm at a point right now in my life where I'm able to hone in and focus on my music more than ever before. More than ever before. And it's bittersweet because of the point I'm at age-wise in my life, but in regards to what I wanna accomplish with the God-given talent in regards to music, I'm right there at the door. Um, Between you and I and the world and the people that are listening, and my intentions are not to be a rapper. My intentions are to get my music heard and to open up the doors for other rappers and musicians. I'm a businessman. I own my publishing company. I just wrote a book in regards to making money from music. I am a consultant. I'm a host. I'm a promoter. At this point in my life, I want to be able to see the
Jack of
fruits of
all
my,
trades, huh?
yeah, several hats, and at this point in my life, yeah, I'm waiting for a hit single and do some shows. But I really want to provide a platform and provide knowledge to other people that are at the cusp and ground grassroots level, so they could take off and get to where I'm trying to be sooner than me. You know what I mean? Because again, I didn't say it out loud. I said, how old I was back then. I'll be 45 years old this year. So all the trials and tribulations and the learning process and everything, I just want to put it together and put it out there for the world to see and accept and inspire those to take advantage of it and hopefully take something from it and do something with.
That's that's real right there. So you're trying to like turn this into a whole like business thing instead of like you just rapping and everything.
Right. Right.
That's real right there for sure. You featured on the song "Cash Money" by Doe B. What made you
Yeah.
guys want to like sample the Wu Tang like lyrics on
Shout
that?
out to Dobie. My guy Dobie, he's actually my artist. He's out of Brooklyn. We actually known each other from Pennsylvania, and he moved out to Arizona before me, and I didn't know it. So when I moved out here, God bless the dead, my man Joe Grizzly, he kept saying, he's like, yo, Doughboy is out there, Doughboy is out there. And I'm like, well, I ain't doing no music. I don't see what's going on. And Doughboy hit me up. He was like, bro, we gotta do something. I used to be in your shows. We gotta do something. So we linked up and we used Cash Money and we used the illest beat that Mob Deep and Coogee Rap used. And it was Doughboy's idea. He said, yo, we got to use a classic old beat. I was like, all right, run it. So he played that beat, and I'm like, oh man. I was like, you got a hook for it? He was like,
Okay, that's
Cash
who it was,
Money.
Mob Deep.
Yeah, it was Mob Deep and Cool G Rap. And
All right.
that's a classic beat, first to begin with. And I take pride in my art. Again, I'll never say I'm the best rapper out. I'll say I'm a good rapper. There's certain people that shouldn't even touch beats like that. Like that's epic. Like that's a classic beat. But I said, yo, let's do it. Let's do it, bro. And he spit the hook to me. I was like, all right, that's catchy. And we just started talking our shit. And
I,
people liked it. We just shot a video. We shot the video in Casa Grande for it, as a matter of fact. Casa Grande, Arizona.
yeah, those were some dope visuals. How did you come up with the verse on the song?
Uh, I got it from the hook, pretty much. Once he said, like Cash Money on My mind, uh, that's just a mantra. Being that I started writing music when Wu Tang came out, I'm like, all right, cash rules everything around me, everything that's on me. Cost a couple thousand, made it out of housing. Now I'm on the West Coast. Used to go to Dykeman. Now I blow the best smoke. I just started telling the story and creating a visual for it. Now the 9 to 5 consists of rhyming, laying tracks down. In and out of state, I'm doing shows to let the raps out. I used to wake up early in the morning with that pack out, 100 pack at that to make a stack, and then I'm macking out. It's all story.
In that heat.
It's all story. I appreciate it. I really, and again, I know all artists want, the listeners to listen, but I really encourage the people that listen to my music to really listen. You know what I mean? And they'll hear what I'm saying and they'll hear the story that I'm telling. You know what I mean? Hopefully they see the visual in it. Like, I hear that. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, most that. Hey, no, that was fire though. You're promoting a book called Money for Music. What made you want to read that book, and then what was that book about?
Well, when I was growing up and first started thinking about doing music, there's a book, and I'll recommend it, even though it's not my book. I'll recommend it. It's called Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business. And that was kind of like a Bible for independent artists to know how to copyright their music and such. So along my journey as a musician and my opportunities to do things and contracts and the failure to sign them, I always wanted to educate myself to know what I need to do. So through the course of the years of doing music, I've learned how to get your performing rights, what to do to protect your music. Um, and I put it in place. So I said, you know what? I can't keep this information to myself. I know that there are people that are just putting music out on Spotify, but they're not registered with a performing rights organization, that their music is not protected by Sound Trust, that their music can't be used on Instagram or TikTok, that they're not gonna get paid off the music that they put out. And I'm like, nah, I gotta show them a step by step
Put them in
how
the
to
game.
protect their music, how to get their music on the radio, how to get sync licensing, and make it simple, make it easy to read and understood. So the book Money from Music was written by me. It's my book, Tyrone B. King. It's written by me. It's available on Amazon on Kindle, digital copy, and the
Uh,
paperback was just published on Saturday. So that's actually my book that I wrote, and it's a step-by-step guide on how to protect your music, what performing rights organizations to go through, and how to get mechanical royalties, performing rights, and possible sync licensing. And that's what we as artists need to make money. Besides, look, the one thing I didn't mention in this whole conversation was selling records. This book is telling you how to get money, and I do not mention selling records.
mm, hey, no, that's dope right there. And why is that? Like, why? Like, you just wanted to focus on the business side of it and everything on that
Well, I
book.
mean, I wanted to focus on the business side, but it's also a benefit to me to educate the people that I'm working with. What if I'm an artist and I want to do a feature with someone and their music isn't registered, I don't get anything out of that. If I call this person a fellow artist and I know their drive, we're on the same page, we got the same goals. Why would I allow this person to put their music out with the possibility of it being stolen, with the possibility of it not being protected? I want to educate any and everybody. Yo, this is how you do it. This is how you could get your coin this way. To keep it to myself is just selfish. That's not who I am. So that's where my consultant comes in. Some people don't want to read a book. Some people want to get it firsthand. So I offer consultations. Hey, come with me out. Let me see your game plan. Let me see your catalog. Are you registered? Do you know how to go to a venue and get paid from a venue? Do you know that if you register your songs correctly, you perform, even if the venue doesn't pay you, your performing rights organization pays you on the back end? And those are some of the questions that artists can't answer. So the book helps them, or the consultation helps them. And I think that as this music game shifts out of the favor of the artist, which it has, I think people are going to hear more things just like my book. You're going to hear more people talking about protecting your music, forming your own publishing, song trust, SoundScan. I think again, as this game of music changes out of the favor of the artist, you're going to hear of more ways for the artist to make music, make money on their own off of their music.
That's dope right there. And do you have like your own courses that you got, like that you sell to people, or you said that you're a
Well,
consultant?
yes. So my consultant is crazy. My consultant is down to in regards to how to protect your music. I do those. You know, some people just want to know how. Some that are computer literate, I help do it. So I'll get on the computer with them and register it for them. My consultation also comes down to artists that want to perform their music. They want to throw an event. How should they throw an event? I have a DJ. Shout out to Radio Flow. I have comedians. We have singers. We have producers. So there's a whole network behind what I'm trying to push. So they say, well, I'm dropping my single. It's not my job to judge their music. If they need an idea on how to push it out there, they want a single release party. All right, I got a DJ. Do you plan on having other artists there? Do you have a headliner? Are there any services or incentives that you want to give the artists that are performing? And that's my consultation. I think you should do it this way, this date, these people, this amount of sets, and we bring their dreams to reality. And that's on the consulting and promoting side. I put my artist hat to the side.
That's dope right there. So you're like pretty much a big like help to like artists, so like just artists around you that you're supporting because you put them on the game.
Right. Like right now, for example, I'm gonna promote Saturday, September 6th, for example. Saturday, September 6th in Coolidge, Arizona, we having a Grande Backyard Mixer. We got about 23
That's
acts.
y'all tap in.
Yes, tap in. Tap in. We have giveaways. We're giving away studio time. We're giving away photo shoots. We're doing drop mic giveaways. I'm giving away consultations to those that are interested. Sit down and talk with me. Consultation in regards to the book. I'll have copies of the book available. We're offering slots to our future events. We're providing an opportunity to be seen, be educated, be recognized, and help you with your craft. And we're not charging any of the artists to perform. So you could come and based off your crowd participation, you could get a video shoot. Based on your song, you could get studio time. Based on your experience in music. Oh, I've been doing music all this time. I don't know how to register. You could get a consultation to learn how to protect your music. So these are some of the things that we do, and this is part of the platform that's being grown out here in Arizona. So we do shows and showcases, but we give artists something to take home with them, an experience, a learning lesson, networking, future artists to work with, and we have everybody in there: videographers, photographers, producers, designers in regards to clothes, hosts, other hosts and promoters. Like it's really a networking event, and it's all love. We bring people from everywhere. We got people from Tucson, and I know you may not be familiar with the where's in regards to cities, but we got people coming from everywhere to come out to Coolidge, Arizona, and Coolidge is a pretty small town.
So you got like people from the big cities coming over there too, and all.
Yeah, we got people from Phoenix, Glendale, Tucson, um, all over the place. Casa Grande, the Res. We have all, and it's not just hip hop. We got Latin rappers coming through. We have native rappers coming through. Mexican rappers coming through. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. You see the
That's
footage.
big.
You see the flyers in rotation. It's gonna be a great event. And actually, we got one battle that night as well. There's one battle rap going on that night too.
You gonna be in the competition or not?
Nah, nah, I'm hosting. I'm hosting. I'm providing a consultation. I will perform. I will be performing a couple tracks, but for the most part, we're doing this for all the artists and trying to give them the exposure and provide some of the services that we got. So if you got anything
That's
going
what's
on
up.
where you at, it don't take much to get to you, champion. So if you ever have anything going on your side, just hit me up. We pull up. We bring a whole event to you. We do
Most
birthday
definitely.
parties, weddings, quinceays. Check out the page.
Yeah, most definitely.
Do everything.
Eh,
Network.
That's dope right there. And okay. So you pretty much like care about the artists and shit like all around and everything. A lot of artists they pretty much like focus on themselves, building their self up and shit, and not worrying about like other artists. Like
Right.
what made you want to be more care like just care to like other artists, be more careless. Not even careless. I think I'm saying that wrong, but like
Now I
caring
feel
for
what
other
you're saying.
artists. Yeah.
I mean, it's just who I am. And don't get me wrong, there are times where I felt as if like, nah, I ain't worried about them. I gotta worry on me, you know. And and sometimes that works,
More
you know.
thoughtful. There we go.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sometimes being selfish works, you know what I mean? But I get self gratitude. I get happiness out of knowing that I helped somebody with something. You know what I mean? Whether it's a conversation that may inspire you to do something or giving you something that you didn't know that you actually need. Like that I feel like not only did I help you, I helped me because I got this information that I'm just carrying with me. So if I'm able to give you a piece that you could benefit from, woo, I put it to use. I'm not just carrying all this knowledge. You know what I mean? I'm not just carrying all this know-how. And then as a person, a part of me is like, I'll be damned if I let this person go down this road. We on the same road. This person wants the same thing I want. They got the same vision I have. I don't care if they better than me, but if they go this way, that it's not gonna work. Yo, try this out. If it works, cool beans. If it don't, hey, let's try it this way. Because it worked for me. You know what I mean? So there have been times where I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that for nobody. But then there have been other times where I'll be like, yo, I'll do it when I know it worked for me. And then once it worked for me, I'll be like, all right, yeah, bet. All right. And then I'll offer it. But I'll never, I can't just leave people out like that. And again, people are people. You could tell a person, you could guide a person and show them the clear path. It's up to them to take it.
That's
But
real.
as long as I offer it, I feel like I did my part. You know what I mean? I did my part, and it's part of my purpose here on Earth is to help in any way I can.
And how did you get like all this like information or even like all this like knowledge to put in your book? Was it like being on the road and like you seeing stuff like in the business or like how did you learn all this?
I would say experience and research. Um, back in now you're really gonna get to know. Back in 1998, 1999, I was presented with an opportunity and presented a contract through a company called Black Hand Entertainment. They no longer exist. God bless Chaz Williams. Chaz Williams was actually 50 Cent's first manager. I was presented with an opportunity with two other artists to be on a soundtrack to a movie that never came out. But this soundtrack was called Black Gangster. So for everybody listening in, I want y'all to really listen. Listen in.
Oh,
So it's called
I'm good
Black
with
Gangster.
ears.
Black Gangster, the soundtrack came out, the movie never did. The soundtrack came out in 1999. Due to one of due to one of the artists that was rapping with me unable to perform their verse, we didn't make the cut, so we didn't make that soundtrack. But that soundtrack had Jay-Z on it, DMX on it, 50 Cent on it, Ja Rule on it, Mac Dre on it. I can
I got a
guarantee you
whole
that,
lot of artists. Huh?
I'm telling you, I could guarantee you 99% of the people in this chat never heard of this soundtrack. And I could put money on any friend of yours that say that they're a diehard Jay-Z fan, that they've never heard the song that's on this Black Gangster soundtrack. It's accessible, it's online. You can look it up and find it. So, in regards to experience, I had the experience of being able to look over a contract, seeing the rights and wrongs of it, and knowing not to sign it. From there, it was a matter of my homeboy back in 2002 came across some lawsuit money, formed a record label, had an LLC for a record label, bought recording equipment. We did a killer mixtape. It was called the Plottersville Summertime Sampler. We used everybody's beats. Didn't invest in no production. We didn't have nobody making our own beats. At this time, I'm reading everything you need to know about the music business. Nobody knows how to register anything. We freelancing. So that fell apart. The people I was rapping with, they don't rap anymore. Life is life, and I'm moving around. So as I'm going to these different states and having these different experiences, I'm picking up all the things that didn't work, figuring out why they didn't, and finding the right way how it worked going forward. So in the nature of me putting this book together, I could have put this book together probably 10 years ago. I could have put this book together when I came out with my publishing company. But again, I think timing is everything, and I don't think it was the right time for me to put a book out. I was going through life situations, wasn't necessarily focusing on music. So I think again, at this point in my life, like right now, I've been blessed with the time and the ability to invest in the ability to write a book and put it together and put it out. The ability to be able to retract all my memories and experiences and be able to utilize that and steer artists in several directions and give them game that they feel as if is being gate kept. Shout out to the Sauna Boys out here in Arizona. They're a younger group. And we met up. I was hosting an event that they were performing at. And they immediately told me, they was like, yo, Palms, we about to drop our first LP. I'm like, word? I said, we dropping it. They was like, DistroKid. I'm like, yo, who you registered with? I said, what? I was like, bro, you not registered with BMI ASCAP? She's like, nah, nah, not yet. I gotta get this together. I'm like, yo, we gotta have a sit down and talk. I want y'all to get that done immediately. So we had a small talk, not even a full consultation. I told them how it works and what they need to do. And immediately they registered their music and said, yo, Palms, you gave us information that we need that nobody's been telling us. And that's the problem. That we're in a community of people with the same vision and the same goal, but we not giving each other information to help each other out. You know what I
Yeah, a
mean?
lot of
Me
people are
giving
like
them,
gatekeeping and all that.
yeah, they gatekeeping. Like it didn't take anything away from me by giving them that information. That don't take no money out of my pocket. That don't stop anything. You know what I mean? Why would I consider them friends or homies and do these shows with them and let them perform, knowing that they could be paid for what they're doing, but they not registered. Nah, register your music. Yeah, put your music out, but this is what you got to do to get paid. And this is what you got to do to get paid when you perform it. And this is how you get paid if they play it on the radio. And this is how you get paid if they use it on a video game. That's how you're gonna make all the money. But if as an artist, if you're sitting around waiting for record sales and streams to make money, you might be waiting a while. But if you're a artist that has the ability to go out and perform, and you're an artist that could go to venues and get paid on the back end, register your music. You can make money without being on the radio. You can make money without being big stream or top artist. And those are the ways that I'm trying to educate the artists. I'm not trying to knock their dream of being big, but I'm telling them if they situated where they at now, by the time they blow up, there's no way to be robbed. If a record label should come and say, "Hey, I heard your music. I want to give you a deal, but I need your publishing." Well, I own my publishing. So now what do you have to offer? Oh, well, I want these songs. I own my masters. So now, you know what I mean? And those are the ways that the artists are getting hurt. They'll get picked up and be like, yo, I just signed a deal. What's entailed? Oh, they gave me money to record. They're gonna shoot my videos. They're gonna do my marketing. All right, what do they get off your music though? Oh yeah, they published it. Oh, so they got all your publishing and they get some of your performing rights and they getting a cut of your shows. That might not have been the right deal. But if you register your music and you own your rights and the beats that you're using you bought and you already have your split sheets where the producers getting their cut, then you could do your own thing and you don't need a label. All you need is a budget to promote and market.
Hey, nah, that's 100 right there. So you already know like about these whole bad contracts and all that. You're already up on game and all that. Now you're just trying to give it to other artists so they can get like fucked over pretty much, like in signing
Right.
label deals and everything.
Right. Exactly.
No, that's what's up. That's true right there. Um, is there any other books that you're gonna release or like any projects, maybe an album that you're gonna release soon?
To be honest, I don't have any intentions on doing an album, a full out album, unless there's a actual demand for it. Right now, I'm just releasing songs to see what catches and what sticks. I still have a couple of compilations that I've done with a few people that are soon to come out. And then, as mentioned, first quarter 2026, I'll be doing Palms to Great, which there are a couple of songs in the catalog, new songs in the catalog to be released. But I don't have any intentions on dropping an actual album. I think that my way will be singles and features in regards to music. I do have two artists, one of which I've mentioned, Doughboy, that I'll be managing and really embedding my skill and education into them so they could lead the way. I have a company called Path to Growth, which is in the nature of providing a platform for artists. I'm looking to get funding and opening up venues for people to perform, event spaces to hold my consultations and all. I actually have a GoFundMe page to try to raise money for Path to Growth. I have the EIN and the LLC. I'm just trying to raise money to actually get a venue, get a place of business. So that's in regards to the business side. With the books, I do plan on writing more books.
Right.
I have 4 pages of a part. It's not going to be called part two, but it's going to be more in depth in regards to how to make money from music. Money from music, as I mentioned, is a step by step in regards to registering your music and protecting it. The next book is going to be in regards to how to get some of the certain of these rights in regards to looking for venues that are licensed with BMI ASCAP. So even if you're not paid on the front end, when you perform at this venue and you register your song that you perform there, your performing rights organization pays you because you performed registered songs. And a lot of artists
That's
don't know
fire.
that. So it's gonna be that route now. So now that you got your music registered and you got a copyright, now you're doing shows. So how do you go about finding these venues to get paid on the back end? How do you come up with these agreements to have a home venue to whereas you could perform there week after week after week and get paid without your music even being on the radio? So
That's
it's really
really you're really putting out knowledge there and shit
yes.
to like all
I'm
these
I'm
artists and
I'm
shit.
I'm putting out some knowledge that some majors may not want out there. They may not want this info. They may, and that's the thing. The game is now designed for the artists to not notice.
That's
They
yeah.
don't want artists to know how to protect their music. They don't want artists to know how to make music on their own. If 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 now, right? Once upon a time it was easy, right? You as an artist, you could all you had to do was make music, right? But now as an artist, the dream of going platinum is almost watered down because you could do 1,000,000 streams and only be paid $4,000. So now it's like, well, wait, how? Wait,
Ripping you off and shit on.
yeah, like I could make $4,000 just doing shows if I got a hot song. You know, I don't care if and just for numbers' sake, I could show up at a bar or a club for $50 a show and make $4,000 without 1,000,000 streams. So why am I pushing my music to get 1,000,000 streams if I'm only gonna make four? I gotta find a different way to make money if this is what I'm doing
Yeah.
with my
It's just
music.
harder like doing it
It's
now and
hard.
everything.
So that's why in the book it tells you you can you there are places where you could send your music and get placed on a movie soundtrack that'll make you more money than any amount of sales. You know, you could get a song. There's a gentleman, I don't know his name. You probably saw it. He has a clip on Instagram, I believe, where he stated that he got a placement on Call of Duty and they paid him more than he made out of his whole catalog. That's the kind of money I want artists to have the ability to attain. You know what I mean? And there are ways to get there. You got to have it registered and protected to do that. But I want to educate artists that it's not just about the radio or the video. You know, you can have a song playing in the background of a movie. You can have a song on a video game. You can have your song on social media. Your song go crazy on TikTok. You could get paid off that. And that's again without it being heard on the radio, so to say. So if you read the book and you follow all the steps, you can end up in a position where your music is on the radio. You get money from that. You're getting streams. You get money off that. You getting TikTok, you getting Instagram, you getting Facebook, you placed in a movie. It If you follow the book and are in a position to follow all those steps, you can make money off all your music. Not just, oh, I'm getting streams off Spotify. No, I'm getting a check from Spotify. I'm getting a check from Nike. I got to add in a Nike commercial. I'm getting a check from this movie. I got a soundtrack on Tubi. I got not me, not me, but just for example's sake,
You know,
you could be put in those positions to be like, nah, actually, I do shows because they heard my song on TikTok. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. And nah, that's smart right there too, for sure. And like I know what you want people to take when they read your book, but what do you want people to like? What message do you want people to get when they listen to your music?
The message, ooh, that's a good one, bro. Um, I would say that there's a different message in each song, but I would say the underlying message in my music is to not give up. The underlying message when you listen to my music is not to give up. Um, Most of the titles of my songs describe the song, but in my music, if you're looking to listen for lyrics, you found the right artist. If you're looking for an artist with a wide range, not just this topic, not just that topic, you found the right artist. Um, I would say that my music is kind of different. I don't even know who I would compare myself to, and that's not pat myself on the back or anything like that. But I really don't know who I would compare myself to. I would say if you're just in the mood to listen to some music to check out, I would say check me out. There's a lot of personality involved in it. Different scenarios to listen and engage. I do use wordplay, things of that nature. But if you're looking for gangster rap, you're not gonna find gangster rap. If you're looking for trap, you're not gonna find trap. But you will find diversity. You're not gonna find the same flow. You're not gonna find the same style of beat. Um, but I would say if you're looking for good rap or if you're looking for new age hip hop with kind of old school twists to it, I would say listen to Palms. If you want to hear traces of Nas and a little bit of Biggie, some Cool G rap mixed in, I would say listen to Palms.
Yeah, we
And
definitely
again,
got to
I got
tap
a
in
little
with you.
something for everybody.
Yep, y'all definitely got to tap in with Palms for sure. You're trying to hear that real, real.
Yes, I appreciate you guys.
Any like advice you would give to like the younger like youth or anyone that's trying to like do the same thing as you, maybe with writing books or even like making music? What would you say to them?
Definitely. Yo, my advice to anybody out there on any grind, and I know we talk about music right now, but on any grind, if you feel it in your heart and you feel that you can't go without it, stick to it. You know what I'm saying? Life happens. There are certain times where you got to take that breather and step back away from it. But if you feel that fuel in your heart, don't let nothing stop you. You know what I mean? Situations are temporary. Sometimes the crowd you with is not the crowd you keep. You may have to take bits and pieces from different experiences, but on your journey, just keep your foot on the gas. You know what I mean? There are times you may have to look back to see what may have been wrong or what you could have did differently, but stay moving forward. Chase your bag, chase your dream, find out different ways to make that dream come true. Because as we dream, different elements come into play. And sometimes we don't even control our dream. It just starts happening. So as long as you keep your focus and keep your goals, try to find like-minded people, try to have a circle of people that believe in you and know that what you're doing and back you and support you because that's good energy to have. But don't stop. Educate yourself. Find out what it is that you may need to either get or get better at to get to where you're trying to get. And again, don't let nothing stop you. Not a one experience, not a one off, not one bridge. Don't let anything stop you from getting to your goal and chasing your dream. And that's no matter with what you're doing, music especially. Don't let nothing stop you. It's something for everybody.
Yep, keep it pushing
Keep it
for real.
pushing.
Yeah, that's for real right there. Yeah, it's dope. And it was dope having you on. Uh, we next till next time, Loud Pack Palms. We already know y'all tap into him.
Hell yeah.
So,
Tap into Rap Wars. Shout out to Rap Wars for having me. I hope to be back at some point. Stay tuned. It's a
oh,
lot
you already
going
know.
on. My man caught me at a good time where it's just starting to warm up. Again, I'll have footage. I'll be sending my man some footage as well. So please stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Rap Wars. Follow him on all platforms. Stay in the loop of the rap game, man. It's a good guy right here.
Yeah, 100. All right. And we out of here.
We
Y'all
out of
tap
here.
in next time. Rap Wars,
Hell
Spoken
yeah.
Wars. Peace out.
Hell yeah. Peace out.
Yep, y'all tap in for the next one. You already know I'm having interviews like all this week. So I have one tomorrow. So y'all tap into that one. For sure, I'm probably gonna have a podcast this Sunday. We out of here. And yeah, tap into our merch too, spokenwars.com. Got some merch up there. You know, shirts and all. You can even get yourself a cap.